Welcome to the USA Landmarks quiz featuring all 50 states and the 5 inhabited territories. Let's get started. Which state is home to the Grand Canyon National Park, one of the world's most spectacular geological formations? A. Colorado. B. Arizona. C. Nevada. D. Utah. B. Arizona. On Liberty Island sits the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and democracy. Where is it? A. Maryland. B. New Jersey. C. New York. D. Rhode Island. C. New York. Where is the site of Mount Rushmore National Memorial, featuring the carved faces of 4 U.S. presidents? A. Wyoming. B. Montana. C. North Dakota. D. South Dakota. D. South Dakota. The historic Spanish mission and fortress named the Alamo is the famous landmark in which southern state? A. New Mexico. B. Texas. C. Oklahoma. D. Arizona. B. Texas. Where is the Gateway Arch, often referred to as the Gateway to the West? A. Iowa. B. Nebraska. C. Kansas. D. Missouri. D. Missouri. If you're liking this quiz, please help us out and hit like and subscribe or share with your friends. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center, one of the largest collections of rockets and space artifacts, is located in what state? A. Florida. B. California. C. Texas. D. Alabama. D. Alabama. Which state's most famous landmark is the massive 5-mile suspension bridge connecting its 2 peninsulas? A. New York. B. Florida. C. Michigan. D. Washington. C. Michigan. Which landmark is considered the primary symbol of the state of California? A. Hollywood sign. B. Golden Gate Bridge. C. Pike Place Market. D. Alcatraz Island. B. Golden Gate Bridge. Known for its unique Creole architecture and Bourbon Street, which state is home to the French Quarter? A. Alabama. B. Louisiana. C. South Carolina. D. Mississippi. B. Louisiana. Originally built for the 1962 World's Fair, which state is home to the Space Needle? A. Illinois. B. Washington. C. Oregon. D. Michigan. B. Washington. Which New England state is home to the scenic Acadia National Park, featuring granite peaks, forests, and the Atlantic coastline? A. Vermont. B. Maine. C. Massachusetts. D. New Hampshire. B. Maine. The Willis Tower, also known as the Sears Tower, was once the world's tallest building and is the famous landmark in which Midwestern state? A. Michigan. B. Indiana. C. Illinois. D. Ohio. C. Illinois. Pearl Harbor National Memorial commemorates the attack that brought the U.S. into World War II and is the most famous landmark in which state? A. California. B. Hawaii. C. Oregon. D. Alaska. B. Hawaii. Which state is home to Mesa Verde National Park, a World Heritage Site featuring incredibly preserved ancestral puebloan cliff dwellings? A. Arizona. B. New Mexico. C. Utah. D. Colorado. D. Colorado. In 1620, Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock and would one day be part of which state? A. Virginia. B. Rhode Island. C. Maine. D. Massachusetts. D. Massachusetts. Which of the following states is home to the immense, swampy natural landmark Everglades National Park? A. Florida. B. Louisiana. C. Georgia. D. Alabama. A. Florida. Where is the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, a 35-acre site dedicated to preserving his life, work, and legacy? A. Virginia. B. Louisiana. C. Georgia. D. South Carolina. C. Georgia. Where is home to Denali National Park and Preserve and North America's highest peak, Denali, formerly Mount McKinley? A. Washington. B. Montana. C. Alaska. D. Colorado. C. Alaska. Which state's landmark is Theodore Roosevelt National Park, preserving the Badlands through the conservationist legacy of the former president? A. Montana. B. South Dakota. C. North Dakota. D. Wyoming. C. North Dakota. The Yellowstone National Park, home to the Old Faithful Geyser, is primarily located in which state? A. Utah. B. Wyoming. C. Montana. D. South Dakota. C. Montana. Which state is home to the Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell, symbols of the American Revolution? A. Pennsylvania. B. New York. C. Virginia. D. Massachusetts. A. Pennsylvania. Arlington National Cemetery, the largest military cemetery, is located in which state? A. Maryland. B. New Jersey. C. West Virginia. D. Virginia. D. Virginia. The Mall of America, one of the largest shopping malls in the world, is the most famous commercial landmark in which state? A. Minnesota. B. Iowa. C. Wisconsin. D. Illinois. A. Minnesota. Which state is home to Carlsbad Caverns National Park, a vast underground network of caves? A. New Mexico. B. Arizona. C. Utah. D. Colorado. A. New Mexico. The Vicksburg National Military Park, a major Civil War battle site, is the historic landmark in which state along the Mississippi River? A. Alabama. B. Arkansas. C. Tennessee. D. Mississippi. D. Mississippi. Which state is home to Crater Lake National Park, home to the deepest lake in the United States? A. Washington. B. Idaho. C. Oregon. D. California. C. Oregon. Which state is home to Churchill Downs, where the famous Derby and cultural event take place annually? A. Tennessee. B. North Carolina. C. Virginia. D. Kentucky. D. Kentucky. The Star-Spangled Banner national anthem was inspired by the War of 1812 at Fort McHenry. Where is the fort? A. Maryland. B. New Jersey. C. Virginia. D. North Carolina. A. Maryland. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, honoring influential figures in this music genre, is located in which state? A. Indiana. B. Ohio. C. New York. D. Tennessee. B. Ohio. Which state is home to Hot Springs National Park, most famous for its thermal waters? A. Arkansas. B. New Mexico. C. West Virginia. D. Idaho. A. Arkansas. Elvis's home Graceland, the second most visited home in the United States after the White House, is located in which state? A. Mississippi. B. Louisiana. C. Tennessee. D. Kentucky. C. Tennessee. Famous for its concentration of resort hotels, casinos, and entertainment, which state is home to the Strip? A. Arizona. B. California. C. Nevada. D. New Jersey. C. Nevada. Which state is home to Harper's Ferry National Park, a Civil War and abolitionist site where the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers meet? A. Pennsylvania. B. West Virginia. C. Virginia. D. Maryland. B. West Virginia. The craters of the Moon National Monument, a vast volcanic landscape of lava flows and cinder cones, is located where? A. California. B. Nevada. C. Idaho. D. Oregon. C. Idaho. Known for the magnificent former estates of the DuPont family, where would you find Hagley and Winterthur museums? A. New Jersey. B. New York. C. Connecticut. D. Delaware. D. Delaware. Which state is home to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, famous for hosting the Indianapolis 500 race? A. Kentucky. B. Ohio. C. Indiana. D. Illinois. C. Indiana. Which state is home to the Biltmore Estate, the largest privately owned house in the U.S., a major tourist attraction in Asheville? A. Tennessee. B. Virginia. C. North Carolina. D. South Carolina. C. North Carolina. Featured on license plates and postcards, where is Delicate Arch, a 52-foot-tall freestanding sandstone formation in Arches National Park? A. Utah. B. Colorado. C. New Mexico. D. Arizona. A. Utah. Which state is known for Mount Washington, the highest peak in the northeastern U.S., and site of one of the world's highest wind speeds? A. New Hampshire. B. Vermont. C. Maine. D. New York. A. New Hampshire. Where is Fort Sumter National Monument, the site where the first shots of the Civil War were fired? A. North Carolina. B. South Carolina. C. Georgia. D. Virginia. B. South Carolina. Formerly the Mora Federal Building, where is this memorial dedicated to the victims, survivors, and rescuers of the 1995 bombing? A. Idaho. B. Nebraska. C. Oklahoma. D. Missouri. C. Oklahoma. What state is home to Mount Mansfield, a mountain that is home to the state's highest point and a popular ski resort? A. Vermont. B. South Dakota. C. North Dakota. D. West Virginia. A. Vermont. The collection of historic mansions representing the Gilded Age is located in which state? A. Connecticut. B. Delaware. C. Massachusetts. D. Rhode Island. D. Rhode Island. Which state is home to Harkness Tower and Yale University, one of the oldest universities in the U.S.? A. Rhode Island. B. Connecticut. C. New Jersey. D. Massachusetts. B. Connecticut. Where would you find Devil's Tower National Monument, the U.S.'s first national monument? A. Montana. B. Utah. C. Wyoming. D. South Dakota. C. Wyoming. The Atlantic City Boardwalk, famous for its casinos and entertainment, is the most famous coastal landmark in which state? A. Delaware. B. New York. C. Maryland. D. New Jersey. D. New Jersey. Where is Dodge City, the vital supply point on the Santa Fe Trail and essential trail stop on the Western Cattle Drives? A. Kansas. B. Nebraska. C. Missouri. D. Arkansas. A. Kansas. Which state is famous for Madison County and its many historic landmarks of covered bridges? A. Kentucky. B. Nebraska. C. Pennsylvania. D. Iowa. D. Iowa. Where is home to Chimney Rock, the iconic spire that was a crucial landmark for pioneers on the overland trails? A. Nebraska. B. Kansas. C. Missouri. D. Idaho. A. Nebraska. With its massive dome, which structure is considered the most famous and iconic landmark building in Wisconsin? A. State Capitol. B. Taliesin East. C. Lambeau Field. D. Milwaukee Art Museum. A. State Capitol. Which U.S. territory is famous for Two Lovers Point, a cliffside lookout point with a famous Chamorro legend? A. Puerto Rico. B. American Samoa. C. Guam. D. Northern Mariana Islands. C. Guam. Which U.S. territory was home to the U.S. Naval Station Tutuila in Pago Pago Harbor on the island of Tutuila from 1899 to 1951? A. Northern Mariana Islands. B. American Samoa. C. Guam. D. U.S. Virgin Islands. B. American Samoa. What is the most famous landmark in the Northern Mariana Islands, a 250-foot cliff where Japanese civilians jumped during World War II? A. Mount Tapachau. B. Bonsai Cliff. C. Suicide Cliff. D. The Grotto. B. Bonsai Cliff. Which U.S. territory is best known for the historic streets, cobblestones, and colonial architecture of Old San Juan? A. Guam. B. Puerto Rico. C. U.S. Virgin Islands. D. American Samoa. B. Puerto Rico. Which U.S. territory in the Caribbean is split between the islands of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John? A. Puerto Rico. B. Guam. C. American Samoa. D. U.S. Virgin Islands. D. U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you for playing. How did you do? Please like and subscribe, leave comments or suggestions in the comment section for other quizzes you'd like to see.